Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to DC Universe Online for Stats Revamp 1.3 testing. I am, of course, Trex. We're here in the Iceberg Lounge. We're rerunning this with weapons only because I was using the Back-Up Trinket, and it felt way powerful, super powerful. It was crazy. And I also been in this instance a lot longer than the timer at the end of the video, so when you see how long I've been in here, I was staying in here talking to chat, and it kind of probably messed some stuff up. So, but yeah, so what we're looking at is weapons only. So let's look at our loadout for damage. So what we have here is we're using Wired, which is our attack buff for our weapons. It only attack buffs only. And then I'm also using Flux, which is a shield, so I can protect myself a little bit more. I have also gotten rid of the other abilities in my loadout because I don't want to hit them by accident. Raph was able to remind me how to do that fix. So if you want to have 0 powers in your loadout, you need to go and select one of the other 2 powers. Like, say, if I want to get rid of Flux, I would actually take Flux, move it to a second spot, and it would be gone. Okay, so that's how you can get rid of other abilities you don't need. I'm not going to put Bioelectric Surge there. I'm not. I'm going to rely on my Soda Cola, and my Trinket. That's what I'm going to rely on for heals, and of course the orange bells are around. So for our skill points, I'm still Hand Blaster. I know, moron. Still Hand Blasters went into Weapon Mastery with Brawling and for Bow. And then for the rest of it, I went and put some points in Super Speed, of course. And then for our stats, I put 20 points into Crit Chance, to give me 20% crit chance. And then 20 points into Crit Damage to give me 40% crit damage. And then the rest I put into Precision, 96 points into Precision to give me an extra 656. Making our stats, Precision is at 11,809. Everything else is still the same. And we have our crit ratings here, which I believe these are like percentages, I think. Like a 6.5% and 25%. That's what I'm going with, and I'm sticking to it. So, alright, so as usual in here, we need to go talk to these guests. I like talking to Lex first. He's a drunk. Oh, photographer.
Hey, hero. Can I get an autograph?
Thanks, buddy.
You got us all drinks? I think I love you.
Bruce Wayne. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to see you too, Bruce.
Candy, Mandy, meet our guest.
Hello again, Candy.
Ooh.
I just heard a loud noise followed by a thud. What's going on back there?
Do you think anyone heard that?
Yes, and here they are. Well, hello there. I know what this looks like, but the penguin captured Catwoman. We could use someone with your expertise.
Yeah, please. That's what good guys do, right?
Besides, we got the whole joint rigged with explosives if you try to turn us in.
She's right. Sorry about that. We came prepared for Penguin. So, you in or out?
Yay!
Alright, so once again, I got my attack buff trinket and I got my supply drop. Those are really all I'm using with my soda as well.
Will hear us.
Oh god, I'm talking to the wrong person. Did I not just do that? I did. Screw it. That was just stupid on me.
Here's the punchline.
Oh, dang it. I completely screwed this up. This was my fault. All mine. Well, I'm still alive though, right? That's good. Woof! Oh my god, how scary. Didn't even use a soda or nothing. I did accidentally break that orange barrel, though I'm not happy about. That was my fault, and now that it's gone, I'm SOL. So, cool. Attack buff.
I've got a joke for ya.
I don't like to hit ladies, but that's what's happening.
Meat face. That was nice.
Wasn't too bad.
Oh, you noticed? Yeah, the last one had too much blood on it.
That wasn't too bad of a boss fight, even though I did screw up. And I did use... Did I even use my soda? I thought I did. I might have. Now I can't even remember. That boss fight. I just focused so much on the boss fight. There we go, that's better.
Oh, I can open this door. Yeah, it's on me.
Watch her back while she gets that lock.
Got it.
Are you kidding? You're using bobby pins?
Wait. Found one.
Yeah, weapon buff is nice. Very nice. Probably need to do some theory crafting on how much the weapon damage is doing with and without the weapon buff.
It's a trap. We need to get out. Fast.
My darlings will clog the vents. Use them to stop the gas.
Yeah, ceiling. Thank you, Combat Log, for telling me that environment is affecting me. Combat Log is so thoughtful, worrying about my well-being. Okay, let's kill this thing.
We're not done here yet. Come here.
Waiting for Flux to get back off the cooldown.
Little
All right.
birdie, wanna come out and play?
Wah, 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 wah. Ah. Damn. Fuck it. Oh, this is gonna be bad. So I did have to use my soda. I did mess up and got hit by one of the birds. Womp womp. So the one thing to really look at is from this run is I'm at 166. I'm at the entry level. If I might grab some gear and actually be spec like 172 or try and get into the 175 range. Be a little higher with my CR. You would probably see a little bit more better damage comparable to closer to those who are closer to the in-game level. But this is a look at entry when you come into Amazon period that we don't really have on live because we have the advanced mechanics and the CR differential F's us up or we can't even walk into this kind of thing.
Yay! 2 against 1.
So you do have a little bit of difficulty there. And So let's actually see how the damage looks now. Without. Still the same. Completion time was probably a little less. But I mean, damage out, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, we killed everything. So, I guess the damage out was to be expected. But with my backup, yeah, that penguin fight went a lot faster. And I didn't have to use a soda either, but that was my fault. I think I used a soda in the last one too. Can't remember. So, I feel like, I mean, even Raph says, like, entry level for Iceberg, he had to go in a tank so he could survive. And I'm guessing you went to your atomic tank, I'm guessing. So, Iceberg was pretty tough. And I didn't even choose my item, so I don't know why I got it. But, I mean, overall, with the weapons, it wasn't bad. It wasn't, yeah, so yeah, he went as an atomic tank. So, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I had fun, because I don't really am someone who would use a weapon the entire time. The damage coming from my weapon was pretty good for me. Like, my arrow fling mastery critically hit for 4,600. And probably most people who are watching will probably comment, it's like, well, it hits so much harder on live. Well, different stats. Our stats are, even our damage wise, it's probably going to be lower because the revamp does not have a damage modifiers. That's one thing that players are not realizing is on the live we have damage modifiers, that 50%, that 45%. Those are what's happening. And Test doesn't have those modifiers, so everything's going to be decreased. Damage is going to look smaller, and that's a visual that players are going to have to try and get used to. But this is still in early testing, and like I said, weapons, nothing has been touched. The weapon buff has not been touched. It's still at 6-second buff with a 12-second cooldown. You can probably get one weapon mastery combo off in there, maybe even two if you're depending on the weapon mastery. And I'm really happy I was able to use Flux. So I think players who are using the weapon, if you have a shield, use your shield. Weapon, especially in solos and duos, you're going to have enemies hit you. And even for alerts and raids, have a shield. Why not? You can shield yourself, protect yourself, help the healers out a little bit just in case you do get some damage coming your way. I think even maybe Play from Trey probably will use a shield as well to help out. Maybe. I mean, running with the shield's not a bad thing. Especially when you're like gadgets, Neural Neutralizer is a shield, and it dazes enemies, so it works as a power interaction. That's nice. Most other shields don't get that kind of love, though. But, anyways, this was Weapon Mastery. This was the Weapon Playstyle in the Iceberg Solo without my Orbital Strike or even my backup. I think that those two items are not... I don't think that they have been worked on for the revamp yet, and which is another phase that they have to look at. So it's a work in progress, super work in progress, and I'm thankful that they are taking their time for this, because this needs to be taken slowly. It just needs to be. So thank you for watching, and if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you guys. If you want to take a look at your logs, this is a great way to do it. Oh, you. Okay, so let's see how. So there's three different Maximus, okay? There's 20, 25, and 30, okay? 2.0, 2.5, and 3.0. Oh, I need to choose me first. Me. Buy target. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Here. Sorry, someone messaged me on Discord. I'm trying to look at them. Trying to look at it. Look at the numbers. Look at the pretty numbers. So, we do agree that I use Meteor Blast constantly. It was my... Because I use Meteor Blast into Arrow Fling. And then 2.5. So this is on Pangbot Maximus 2.5, okay? So Fist Slam, I even did some damage with Block, Leap Attack. So, I'm not sure why, like Uppercut Mastery, Uppercut really shouldn't have Mastery on it. Because it's still just a normal attack, but then it goes into Haymaker. Which Haymaker was doing did 14,000. And I used that 3 times. The average damage it was doing was like 4,800 on Haymaker Mastery. On Ground Pound one time, average of... Okay, well, I only did it one time, so it was basically, it hit for 63. So what does 3.0 have? Haymaker Mastery, average is 3,500. My leap, I did more damage with Leap Attack, apparently. How many times I Leap Attack? 11 times by mistake. That was probably me. That would probably be me. So, let's look and see how much damage we did with Penguin. Meteor Blast, I did 23 times with Meteor Blast. And did 87,000 damage. So, and that's all I really did was ranged attacks with Penguin because I didn't want to get close up to him. So, Arrow Fling. So, Meteor Blast. Alright, so when you're doing the combos, your Weapon Mastery combos are supposed to, I think you're supposed to do like a little bit of extra damage. What I'm seeing here is Meteor Blast did an average of 3,700 damage. Whereas Arrow Fling Mastery, which is, you basically do Meteor Blast into Arrow Fling, did 3,787. They're like on par with one another. Even though I did use Meteor Blast a lot more. I don't know why I didn't do Arrow Fling more. That was weird. Oh, that's why, because I think I split it up with Explosive Shot as well, and Explosive Shot was doing 3,900. So that was with Solar Flame Mastery. So one thing that I have to pay attention to when I'm doing these fights is I need to make sure I do the combo and do the Weapon Mastery behind it so I can see proper numbers. Excuse me. So, yeah. So, I liked it. These are not numbers that I hate. Especially coming from weapons. Now I want to make sure I actually look at my combat log for see if I rerun this with electric with a play from Trey, and we'll look at the numbers there and see how that does. Because it still probably should be around the same amount of numbers, but we will see. Actually, it probably won't. Yeah, I need to respec myself because I gotta go back. I need to respec myself into full might. Or I'll probably use the spec that I have now with power and might split. That would probably be the best idea. Because play from tray requires me to actually have power in there. I need to spec myself for power. But we're not sure how much power we need. We don't know how many skill points we need to put into power. Guess we're going to have to find out, aren't we? But those kinds of numbers we'll see down the road when we get closer to Stats Revamp, getting closer to live. Right now, we're just looking at it and making sure it's kind of working. Trying to figure out how much power it takes into a loadout. That is something we do need to do, but something a little bit more finalized. It's going to be later on. What do you mean seeing only weapon mastery stuff, Raph? And did I make this, or are you looking it up? This DCOlog.com is a website. I want to say Shiny Mackerel made it. I can't remember who. Hey, who did make it? Who made this? Who made you? Who is your creator? Shiny Mackerel. Micro made it. So Shiny Mackerel made this website to analyze the combat log, which is great. This is such a great tool. More people need to use it. So Raph, I would think / thought ground pound haymaker and the two bows should have been hitting a bit harder. Correct. And this is where I always said. I think their initiative is to have weapon mastery hit harder than the other combos, because you're speccing into it. They should hit harder than the others, and you're right. It should. And I think I definitely need to rerun it. I probably want to go into the open world content, open world Typhon, and grab some enemies there. And actually do practice with weapon mastery, making sure I actually hit those all the time. Because some of these I didn't hit all the time. But I also think that they have not touched on weapon mastery at all. They haven't touched on the weapons to make it efficient. Oh, this is real time. This is. What you're looking at is, this is the damage I did to Penguin. This is all the attacks I did to Penguin. Correct. I think the damage is also calculated by the length of the animation. I believe that's how damage for weapons are done. Is the longer the combo, the harder it's going to hit. And so what we see here is, and if you don't know what these are, Charge Blast is when my hands are back and I throw them forward. Charge Blast, Meteor Blast, holding my hands up here and swinging down. It's Charge Blast, Meteor Blast, Arrow Fling. And Solar Flame would be Charge Blast, Solar Flame, and then Explosive Shot. In which I only use Explosive Shot 5 times. And it did an average of 3,900. Like, how many times did it crit? Pulse Beam. Ha. Top hits. Move Inspect. Critical hits. So this is how long the fight, I think. Meteor Blast. As for Meteor Blast, how do I actually change? Oh, here they are. Meteor Blast. it hit 5 times, okay? It hit 5 times. Let's look at arrow fling for weapon mastery purposes. I shot it 4 times. Did I hit it 4 times? No. Well, these are the crits. These are how many crits I had. So combat out of arrow fling was 11 hits. 7, 11. So okay. So 7 hits in normal. The max. Damn, it hit above 3,600? 3747 was the max right there. Whereas the low was in the early or late 2800s. And I did that 4 times. Let's take a look. I did explosive shot, luckily. Explosive shot. Normal hits 5 times. A max of 4,800. I only shot arrow or explosive shot 5 times. I did not crit. There were no crits. And so I did 2 normal hits. 2 normal hits were above 4,500. Compared to arrow fling. And there was only 1 that was trying to get to 4,000. Tell you what. So, explosive shot still does more damage. Still doing more damage. And honestly, remember, it is a longer animation too, because arrow fling is just, and it goes back to normal. Explosive shot is kneeling down and then firing. So I think the animation times are, explosive shot definitely has a longer animation, so it's going to do more damage. But it also didn't crit either. The five times I used it didn't crit. So going into a fight, I would need to make sure I use one. I need to try and use like one weapon mastery combo instead of mixing it up. I just need to keep doing only one to see the damage parsers for it.